I just finished my end of day review. I gave myself a 6.5 out of 10 today, Friday, March 28, 2025. So although I slipped, I got a lot of work done. I got back up. We try again tomorrow. We do not listen to the past that tries to pull you back. And at the end of the day, that's all we can do. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna look around, you're gonna see everyone that's killing it, you know. And it's hard not to, get a little envious. It's hard not to get a little frustrated, but what's important to remember for me is Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. That's why it's so important to always be rooted in your habits, to be rooted in your routine, to master your morning in order for you to conquer your day so that you may be able to earn your rest at night. I just finished writing my plan for tomorrow, for Saturday, March 29, 2025. Wrote my morning routine. Even got my end of day review at the bottom. And what people don't warn you or tell you is the nights where you stay up. It keeps you up at night, knowing that there's someone younger than you, knowing that there's someone living your dream life. And it makes me angry. And I know that's not right, because every negative emotion is not from God. It's not Christ-like. It's not holy. It is still energy at the end of the day that can still be transmuted for good. But man, it's really, really difficult, man. But these are the moments where you have to cling most to the word. You haven't been handed what you wanted, your dream life, for a reason. It's because right now you're being forged. Right now you're being watched. You're being tested. There cannot be a testimony without a test. And Job had everything strict, like Job had everything removed from him. Everything he appreciated, everything he loved, everything he cherished. And what's so beautiful about Job is that he never lost faith. His son, his children, his lineage were killed, and he said, "Thank you, God." How beautiful is that? How beautiful is it that I get to go to sleep here in a little bit, and I get to wake up at 4:25, and I get to go to sleep knowing that I accomplished. Despite how I felt, despite the setbacks, despite tripping, I still got up and I kept going. It's a beautiful feeling, because there was a time period where I really would have stumbled, fell, and stayed down. There was a time period where, for me, when I lost momentum, I got stuck. I got really, really stuck. And when you start reflecting on these things, you start reflecting on past decisions and things that you used to do and things that you used to indulge in, you start to wonder, No, you start to notice the synchronicities and you start to see you're not the same person you were. You're not. And that's something to be proud of. Sure, you may not be driving the car you want or living the life that you want, but a part of me is also grateful that I don't have everything I want right now. A part of me is grateful that it's being put off because I know it's going to be good for me, better for me in the end. Because money at its essence is simply an amplifier. And if you can't even master your morning and, have everything meticulous down to a T, that money is just going to corrupt you. That money is going to drive you insane. You're going to lose sight of who you are and you're just going to stumble and fall and become somebody that you're not. And you'll lose yourself. I remember when I was like 19, around like 19, I started making really good money. Like I was actually, the first time I was actually making motion for me. I was bringing in 2-3 bands a week. But I wasn't responsible with that money. I wasn't at all grateful for what I had. I treated that money with disrespectfully, and I took the job that I had disrespectfully, and I was very arrogant. I was very, very naive. As if the thing that was very easily given to me can be very, as well, easily taken away. And it wasn't until that everything was taken from me. At least it felt like everything in the moment during that time period. I lost myself. I truly lost myself. But I didn't realize how much I've already lost myself with the money that I was making. Because with the money I was making, I was getting fat. I didn't have the discipline to say, no, we're not going to spend money on junk food. I didn't have the discipline to say, let's never go to the gym. I didn't have the mental fortitude to be able to say no to going to the bar, going to a party, smoking, drinking, and just falling into trap after trap after trap after bad decision after bad decision, and just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And the worst part about it, I think, is the people that watched me fall into raw calamity, into raw disparity because of my decisions. The worst part is that there were so many people around me that would warn me and would say, "What are you doing?" And I would listen. I wouldn't listen because I thought I had it all under control. I truly thought that I was the one in control when in reality, it was anything but. I hurt people that didn't deserve to be hurt. I was irresponsible with the money that I was making, and I look back on the things that I spent my money on and just sit to myself and wonder, what were you doing? What did you gain at the end of the day? You gained nothing. But I will say that although I did not gain anything that furthered me as an individual, I did get wiser. So I am grateful for it because I know now that habits build who you are, is a direct reflection of who you are and where you are going. So if you're not able to master your habit now, what you do behind closed doors, what you do with your spare time, all of that negative surrounding is only going to be amplified with money. I'm realizing that the reason why that I don't have everything I want yet is because I cannot handle it right now. There is still something holding me back. There's still something in my life, in my psyche, in my unconscious that is still screaming at me that needs to be changed. And that's what I want to leave you with. That's what I want you to think about. What is in your unconscious? What is that Leviathan that you have been putting off for so long? That you've just been ignoring, that it's there. It's watching you. And you have it. You feed it every day even though you don't want to. It isn't until you start starving it, start starving the vices, start starving the Leviathan. And obviously it's supposed to be hard because it's going to start thrashing and fighting, and because it's hungry, it doesn't want to leave. Obviously he's made a home here that you've created for it. And the worst part is you've been you've been growing that Leviathan for years. No wonder it's so hard now. Obviously you've been feeding it for years and years and years and years and years, and you're just now beginning to say no more, no more. Obviously, it's going to take time. Obviously, it's not going to be easy, but that's what's going to make it so worth it. The fact that it's not easy. The depth of my struggle determines the height of my success, but it's not just success. What even is success? To be success to me is being the man that is capable of handling so much all at once and still making the decision to be a kind, gentle person, to be a good person, that no matter what life throws at me, I am still going to hold myself up with excellence and success and make sure I set myself up to have a good day. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Doesn't matter how many L's I've taken today. I know for a fact I mastered my morning so that I could conquer my day and then I could earn the rest at night. You know, a teacher doesn't speak during a test. And that's what's so good. That's what's so awesome about God, in my opinion, is that He'll throw you into a test and let you mess up and then give you the lesson. He'll watch what you do and then He'll start correcting. And what's crazy is like once you start raising your awareness as an individual, you start noticing your own bad habits, and you start getting disgusted with yourself, and you start changing on your own. It's beautiful when you're given that discernment to be able to look at yourself very objectively and very honestly, very raw, in a very naked sense, and see all your flaws. And you write them down and you say, okay, you circle the one that is the biggest, and then you start taking out the small ones. You start eliminating the small problems that aren't as big as the one that is circled, but the easier ones. You get those out the way first, get them out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. And then you're confronted with the Leviathan. And you say, I was able to conquer all these small ones very easily. You are no different. I will conquer you. You do not control me. I am created by the one true God. I'm created in His image. You think you have power over me? No. And that's the beautiful part, is that we can keep working. You can keep working every day towards success. And whatever that looks like to you. Doesn't have to be the same definition I have of success. Everyone has their own individual definition, but you can constantly be working on yourself and constantly show up for yourself. And eventually, the more that you show up for yourself, it translates to the people around you because they start to feel proud. They start to feel happy. They look at you and they say, finally, he got up. Finally, he was serious. How beautiful is that? The second you start raising your awareness, start asking yourself, what are you doing and what do you want? Start asking yourself those big questions. Are those video games really going to push you to that point of breakthrough? Is smoking weed really going to get you there? Just think about it this way. Do you really have to smoke? What are you running from? What is that thing in your head that you want to silence so bad that you say to yourself, I really want to smoke today. Why? Why not sit with that? Sit with it, understand it. What is it telling you? What is it trying to show you? Why are you trying to silence it? And if you think about it, smoking weed is just a really dumb earth ritual. You light the weed, the weeds, the earth. Then you light it with fire. You inhale the air. You exhale it. It's a really dumb ritual because it just makes you slow. It just makes you dumber. And it really just makes you fat mentally. It makes you so mentally obese. Because, imagine this. What do you think you're going to be? You're going to be some guy. You're just going to be I don't know. What are you expecting with that? Are you going to take that in front of your children? Is that really the message you want to share with them? That smoking is okay. That dad can conquer all things, but he couldn't conquer that addiction. Dad could conquer everything, but he couldn't get lean. Once you start thinking about the macro and you start looking so far in the future and start wondering, what would my children see? What would my children think? Because all the mistakes that you don't understand and cure now, guess who's going to have the consequences of those actions? Not just your wife, but your children. They get passed down your mess ups. They get passed down your mental illness, your addiction, your shackles, your generational chains that you choosing to pass on because you didn't want to be the one to break them. Imagine that. Why would you not want to do that for your children, for your bloodline, for your lineage? Why? Now, I did, derail a little bit from the original topic, but what I want to leave you is this. It doesn't matter what everyone says around you. If you see that 19-year-old whipping in that Lambo or that 18-year-old in that Rari, just smile, be humble, and just know that your time will come, and when it comes, it's going to be so much sweeter because you worked for it. Not to say that, take away whatever hard work that young man put in. But the older you get, the wiser you get, the more intelligent you become, the kinder you become. You see your bad habits and you realize that you can change them. It's beautiful. That we're the only beings that can be conscious of our actions. And the second that we're conscious, we can change them if we don't like them. You just have to tune into the frequency. And then you just have to ask yourself, what frequencies have you been tuning into? Damn, God is so good. Anyway, I'll catch you boys in the morning. I'll see you at 4:25.